Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential. Welcome to the Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Today, our guest is John. John, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. So nice of you. So, John, let us know where you live and what you do.
Wonderful. So I live in Austin, Texas, and I am the founder and principal of Verity Product Development. A little bit of insights about Verity Product Development. We are a product development firm and also supply chain solutions firm.
All right. So what type of products do you develop?
I'd say right now, top of mind, we've been working on, or at least targeting, personal care and beauty space, fitness, and an array of other, I guess you could say, consumer devices.
All right, that makes sense. So just to understand more, would you let me know who are your ideal customers and how you define the eligibility of a customer?
Right. I would say my ideal customer would be probably somebody, maybe a mature startup to mid-sized company, maybe organizations that need innovation and are also looking for creative supply chain solutions to fulfill their business needs. And so, that you can maybe say there's no right customer. The array of services that we provide allows us to, I guess you could say, match with a number of different customers based on their needs. And so we cast a wide net to be able to fulfill and provide those value-added activities.
Makes sense. So how do you onboard the customer? Because obviously when you have a specific selection of a customer, I'm sure you must have some checklist, some sort of checklist where you are finding the eligibility of that customer. Okay, if this customer is fitting on these parameters, then yeah, we can onboard this customer. So what is the eligibility and what's the process of onboarding a customer?
Okay, good question. I think from a qualification perspective, we'll look at it from a number of different aspects. I guess from a high level, we're looking for fit between the customer's needs and also our services. That's just number one. Number two, when qualifying the customer in particular, let's say we'll look at it, globally, holistically, from a company perspective. What kind of funding they have? What kind of backing do they have? What's the founder's vision? Is that vision aligned with our vision value system? We have values as well. And if the customer doesn't have the same values, we're going to say no. And then maybe also looking at maybe what it is that they need. We specialize in consumer products. We can do a lot of things, business to business. We could do engineering services, manufacturing, automation, but maybe narrowing the scope to a product. I think that might be a little bit more interesting to your audience. Looking at a product, we're experts, have many, many years in the business and have access to data. And we look at the data. We analyze also what is this product that the customer is looking to provide for the market. Does the market want or need this? It's okay if they only need it. Are they willing to pay a premium? Is their pricing structure realistic? Is there a unique innovation? Is it really addressing the customer's pain points? These are the kind of questions that we look at, we investigate, and we'll go ahead and create a miniature, quick financial analysis and market analysis just in that qualification period, just to understand that, is this real and will this be a sustainable relationship? If it's not a sustainable relationship, we will say no.
So when like a product development, when we talk about a product, any product, so usually we think about the long-term solutions. At least we think about the product long-term. We set our goals for the long-term. Obviously, short-term goals are important, but we set the long-term goals as well. And we write down the roadmaps, sort of all these things. But again, in a very initial step, we need to decide if this thing is going to add a value in someone's life, or this is going to solve a solution. This is going to give a solution, solve a problem. So where is your focus? Like where you focus more? Maybe the correct question could be where your focus is more, like on solving a problem or something else.
Got it. Okay. So, well, let's take a step back real quick just to maybe clarify to your audience because they may be wondering what kind of products we develop. We develop physical products. Stakes are high. There's also software solutions, platforms, integrations, all of that. It's everything. So when we're looking at any type of product, the product has to fulfill some type of need. In our case, we look at a need and a want. I'm going to make something up. Let's say you have a wrench, plain old wrench.
Mm.
It could be one size, but then
Yeah.
you might say, well, how about now I have to buy a whole set. So now there's an adjustable wrench. So now,
Yes.
after using this a couple times, my hand hurts. So now I need some type of a grip. And someone might say, that grip is just still not good enough. I need a grip that completely conforms to my hand. It does this. That's just a wrench. It's something very, very simple. There's no circuit boards, no software, nothing. We're just pure mechanical, right? So the thing is that
Makes
people
sense.
they don't need the wrench to be comfortable. They could still do the job and unlatch the bolt, but they want it, right? And so when we look at something, we look at, does it address the inherent need? Okay. And then does it address the want of the customer? Now, in this case, sure, it's physical. After a while, they're going to get blisters. They're going to get calloused, right? And that's not good. So from just a plain old product development standpoint, you say, you know what, we should have something in there, but we need to price it right. We're adding more parts in there. There's more value and people should be willing to pay a premium. But this is, again, still going back down to the functional solving a problem. I think then what you're getting at. You also have psychological needs, emotional needs. Anybody could get a pair of shoes, but for some reason, people like Air Jordans. Why? Why is it they like that? They like them because Michael Jordan was a champion and they want to be champions too. And when they put those shoes on, they're going to feel like a champion. And if it gives them 1, 2, maybe even 5% better effectiveness, it increases their performance, they're worth their weight in gold, right? So that's another aspect, right? And that's when we're dealing with members of our teams who have a background in psychology, a background in industrial design. These are all aspects, aside from just engineering, that are very important to the product. It's levels of playing that you're dealing with here. Now, the market may not care about being a champion. They just want a pair of shoes to walk around, and that's fine. And it could be millions of those shoes. There's nothing wrong with that. There may be no shoe manufacturers in the area. You can go cut out the middleman. You can put a manufacturing plant right in the middle of sub-Saharan Africa, and you could just start pumping them out. You could do that. Anybody could do that, right? With the round amount of time, money, talent. If that makes business sense, we're happy to help you. But for the same fact, you may have somebody that may want to target a specific niche in Denmark, and they have a specific requirement, an emotional requirement that they have for those pair of shoes. And so it's our job to allow them to at least maybe the founder, whoever it is that is going to be our customer, may not be sophisticated enough to communicate what it is that they want. And it's our job to be able to pull that information out and then be able to convert that into some type of meaningful solution.
Makes sense. So, John, obviously every business to have competitors, and you must have competitors as well. So what is that sets you apart from the market? Like maybe you can let us know about what are your top 2 differentiators.
Sure. I'll say right off the bat, there's a handful of them, but let me think about the most important ones. I think right off the bat, I'm going to say cost effectiveness. I'm not saying we're cheap, right? But we're cost effective. And there's a reason for that, which comes to me for the second reason. And I'll get to the way that why we do that. My organization, myself, we believe in shipping products. We're not in this business to broaden our portfolio. We have amazing portfolios. We don't need to add any more to it. We have nothing to prove from that aspect, right? We're here to ship products, plain and simple. And if that's our goal, and that's the customer's goal because those products get sold and they create revenue. So if that's the goal, it's of our best interest to be a good steward to our customer and a good partner. I'm not going to name names, but there's other people in the industry that do not share those same values. They don't necessarily believe that the customer is going to be successful. Customer might know. It's a gamble. And that's the reality of the business. Some people just do not know. Yeah. The data may look good. Values change. Economies change. Pandemics, COVID-19. Who knows, right? So there's a lot of things that are out of everybody's control that can, prevent you from shipping or being financially successful, right? But our goal is to ship and to ship in high volumes. And in order to do that, you have to be cost effective. You have to price reasonable and you can't be greedy. So I mean, these are moral things here that you're kind of saying maybe are against our competitors, against the system. But what we found in our experience is that, but in doing this, you're going to ship. If you have the will, there's going to be a way. You're going to ship because we're being financially responsible with the funding.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Awesome. So, John, every day, every month, every week, many entrepreneurs are entering into the industry. But on the other hand, every day, many businesses just shut down. Now, obviously, there are some natural disasters as well, just like pandemic, COVID-19, and a few other things as well. But there are other factors as well in the market. Like there are challenges. Every day there's a new challenge. Every day you have to face the challenges, and still at the night you have to sleep. So I believe challenges are more for the entrepreneurs, and these are part of the entrepreneurship journey. Can you share one challenge with us today? Like if you can share the challenge and you can let us know how you were able to address that challenge, this will be a plus, because this will be another encouragement for other entrepreneurs who are maybe leaving the industry, or maybe they have the plans to leave industry just because of the challenges.
Sure. I think we could talk about this topic all day, but I think that I'll address maybe one topic that's probably top of mind in everybody's, of recent, right? Which is tariffs. And everybody's going to talk about tariffs. People are going to, it's a major problem, right? They've already made commitments. They've already signed contracts, and maybe depending on the way they wrote those contracts, they may be responsible for, financially responsible for the impact on those tariffs, not the buyers, not the consumers. And that has happened, obviously. And you could see that over the last 6 months. A lot of companies, I would say, have been suffering. I'd say the next 6 months, you're really going to see some people start to fall out when the news really starts to hit. I'll address that topic maybe by looking at broadly explaining how tariffs impact the consumer and how they impact the customer. The customer meaning, maybe in our case, we're a manufacturer. We're taking two parts of the value chain, right? We're designing and we're manufacturing a product. And now you, the marketer, the entrepreneur, whoever, you're buying that from us and you're shipping it and you're selling it, making revenue. Well, if tariffs increase, they're going to get multiplied against the entire bill of materials, the whole stack, right? All the material overhead, all the profit that's going to go in there, everything, it's all getting multiplied up. Now, you, as a responsible entrepreneur, have to assure that you're marking up your product enough to be able to fulfill all your partners within the value chain, your wholesalers, distributors, retailers, or your Amazons, Walmart's world, whoever it is. Multi-channel, omni-channel, doesn't matter. So you have this scenario. You get hit with tariffs. Now your cost of goods have doubled. What are you going to do in that case? Now, first off, and this is the advice that maybe if I'm going to give some advice, is that look at your contract language, right? Understand who's responsible. What did you agree to? If you can't control that, why are you committing to it? A lot of people commit to it, and that's a big red flag. So I'm going to say right off the bat, I mean, if you're not responsible, then your retailer's responsible. If your retailer's going to take the hit, you want to, again, be a good steward, so you might have to work with them with a price increase. Without a doubt, things are going to get more expensive. That's just the way it's going to be.
Obviously.
These businesses have to keep working. Everybody needs to be making money. You can't just take a hit like that, right? But there's other things, at least my team. How do I react? Or maybe even better, how do I respond to that? What is that? What solutions do we have? And you're also thinking about a short amount of period of time, and you don't necessarily know if it's going to go back up, going to go back down. How do you deal with that? Well, you have to look really at what solution you've really provided. Other efficiencies within when you've launched something from a manufacturing perspective, other efficiencies within that value chain that maybe you did not explore and put pressure on. You look at a bill of materials, 60% of your bill of materials is one component. Could it be possible to get a second source and reduce that? Maybe. Did you look at that the first time? Maybe, maybe not. So that's a solution. Looking at alternative regions. How fast can you go and onboard another supplier in another region that's lower tariff? Can you do that? Did you prepare yourself for this?
Maybe not.
Maybe, maybe not. You should at least use rule 3. Six Sigma, we would have evaluated 30 suppliers, right?
Yeah.
So So you want to give yourself, now this is about preparation. So I guess maybe the word is preparation. Prepare yourself because there's only going to be a lot of different problems. This is not an easy business. No one ever said it's easy. It's difficult. It's very, very difficult. And on our side of the business, you use the word hard. Everyone keeps saying hardware is hard. It's very hard. It's hard because it's physically demanding, physical demand, not just mental demand, but you have to do both. You still have to perform at a high level and you're dealing with aspects that you can or cannot control. If you can't control them, what do? You only have to worry about what you can control and work with your partners. See if your partners can make adjustments. Can your partners make adjustments in their operation? And then finally, the customer. We value you as our customer, but unfortunately, due to X amount, we're going to have to increase our prices. It's going to happen, right? Maybe you might be able to float them for 3-6 months, but at the end of the day, like if you go out of business, then you're doing a disservice to your customer, right? So you really have to look at it from some people, I've had this conversation actually with someone very recently, and they're looking to take the hit. I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? Costs go up. Sandwich cost 10 years ago cost $5. Now it costs $15. That's just the way the business works. That's the way the financial system works. And so as long as you really understand that, and you understand that there's a lot of different levers that you can pull, you're not alone. There's a lot of things that you can do. And in our side of the value chain, there's a considerable amount that we can do.
That completely makes sense. Awesome. Well, that was helpful and the end, John, what would be your biggest piece of advice for the new entrepreneurs who are planning to join the industry, or maybe they do have some idea and they are going to start a startup?
I'm going to actually end it on something simple. When I'll ask the entrepreneur to follow their heart, but really make decisions with their mind in that order. Some people do it the reverse order. Some people don't use their mind and they follow their heart a little bit too much. And unfortunately, it can get broken, burned out. Never want to touch it, never want to do it again. I've seen a lot of talented people lead with their heart way too much, not really thinking about the consequences and the challenges properly. So I'll say it again, follow your heart, but make those decisions with your mind. Validate it.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a beautiful advice for sure. Yeah, because whenever someone is starting a new venture, a new business, they try to completely depend on the heart. Heart is going to take the decisions. Heart is going to decide. Heart is going to lead the path. Well, that was a very beautiful advice. So nice of you, John. At the end, please let reviewers know how they can reach you if someone wants to connect with you.
Sure. So if anyone's looking to reach out to me and maybe have other questions regarding maybe some of the inputs I had during this conversation, you can feel free to reach out to me at John at Verity-Product.com. You can visit the website www.verity-product.com. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about our expertise, it's a very, very simple page. We believe in simplicity. We follow the mantra of the designer Dieter Ram, so we're all about simplicity. No tools, no big things. So simple web page. There'll be a little icon there. It's a briefcase. You can review our portfolio. You can see the great things we've done. Happy to entertain any conversations with any interested parties. Advice. I'm happy to help.
Well, John, thank you so much. Huge thanks for joining us today. I learned a lot of things, and the conversation was very interesting. And I believe at least one entrepreneur will at least get some good insights within this conversation, because this conversation was full of insights and good advices. So I wish you best of luck, John. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Bye-bye.